Round of 8. Zest. Dream. Road. Dark. 2021 GSL Season 3. Code X. Africa TV, Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to go to the second half of the evening. Zest has survived into the round of 4. Up next, we've got Rogue versus Dark, a rematch from Season 2.
Yes, indeed. Dark is the guy that eliminated Rogue. It was a very close series. That one that Rogue generally wins, but Dark can win. And of course, Rogue was the favorite. I think Rogue is honestly the favorite of every tournament he enters. So we'll see if Dark can knock him out this time again.
All right, we're gonna have an interview with Dark and Rogue, who are going up against each other today. So we have the ex-champions Rogue and Dark, the most recent champion. And they're both very spectacular Zergs for sure. Hello. Hello. So Rogue, who's achieved third consecutive round of 8. You're winning GSL like 2 seasons apart so far. Well, this season compared to last season feels really good. And Dark has also made it to his second consecutive round of 8. So, due to your recent competition, I'm sure you feel tired. How do you feel today? No, right now I feel really tired. Not in the best condition. I'm not sure how this is gonna affect today's gameplay, Dark. And last time you guys went up against each other, it was a really fierce match. And that time Rogue won. So, how did you feel, Dark, watching him? I couldn't get my seed. And I actually was wondering if I would actually meet him this time, and I did. And that time Rogue advanced in second place, and that's why he beat me. But this time I think he's just doing it intentionally to play against me. So Rogue, that's what Dark's saying. So what about you? I really rooted for a Terran to come up. I hated going up against Zerg. So I really rooted for Bunny. But then, reluctantly, I got to play against Dark today. And it feels like the two Zergs, the top tier Zergs, are actually not fighting against each other, but they're actually praising each other. Even from back then, I enjoyed watching Dark's plays. So I look up to him, and I learn a lot from Dark. And Dark has actually mentioned that he could win the GSL if he beats Rogue, and Rogue, you two said the same thing, that you would win if you beat Dark. So this season, do you feel the same, Dark? Look at the brackets. I feel like the champion of this match is gonna be the winner of this match is going to be the champion. What do you think about it, Rogue? What do you think? I feel like if I just overcome this match, I could lift the trophy. If I do win today, I think I'm going to have plenty of time to prepare for the next match. So the two players are equally desperate for the win today. And before we get into the match, anything you want to say to each other? Rogue, what do you have to say? Last season, it was a very close loss for me. It was very unfortunate. This season gonna be very different from last season. So I'm gonna have to win today. I can win. Then what about you, Dark? Last season, it was really, really hard for me. Well, this season, unlike last season, I want to advance easily. And these two players both want to hold up their second trophy of GSL this year. Who will be out of these two top-tier Zergs that lifts up the trophy in the GSL?
this may be the most impactful match in the round of 8.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously with what Dark did last season, and then just Rogue is so, he's so busted. He's so good.
Yeah.
I think, you know, whoever moves on here, I have to say is the favorite to take the tournament.
I agree with that. And I think the player most likely to upset one of these guys in the finals is probably Party.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Right. I think Dark and Rogue have extremely different PVZs. Parting is proving to be like really adaptable and really tournament ready. Whenever we see him play, like he really knows how to train.
He knows how to kill people.
He knows how to. He knows how to win.
Yeah,
he'll do what it takes to win, no matter what. But these are just the two power Zergs of the tournament. Again, this is a rematch. Rogue lost to Dark, and I think what's fair to say is an upset. I feel like usually if Rogue gets beaten by anybody, it's kind of an upset.
It's always, yes. Definitely would agree with that.
If you were a betting man, you could probably usually just bet on Rogue and make money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's just so good. And he's been good for so many different ages and eras of StarCraft 2.
He has the most impressive resume in StarCraft 2. There's just not a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dark proved to outmaneuver him. I think when we look at these two guys play, and it really is like the most advanced ZVZs we can see in the whole world. And so
they're ZVZs. Okay, so maybe on that. Like I don't know if I agree with you, because sometimes they do stuff that looks really brilliant. Sometimes they do stuff and I'm like, is that stupid or is everyone else stupid? Like do you remember this game that they played where it was like Mass Nidus Spore with swarm hosts?
Yeah.
Do you remember this game?
Well,
it was the weirdest. Yeah. So
well, they know each other's play styles so well.
They do so well.
I mean, especially with
Well, they're the only two Zergs really keeping it up here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times because these guys know each other so well, them being in the same region and having to constantly compete on the same stage, there's a lot of super advanced mind games that are going on that are basically to counter each other. So, this is, for me, the best of 5 I was most looking forward to. Again, I think the winner here is definitely the guy who moves on. And to maybe take the whole thing.
Yeah.
Unless we've got a couple more plot twists in this season of GSL Code S.
Yeah.
We're going to start this out on the map 2,000 Atmospheres.
Okay, well, it's Zerg vs. Zerg. I'm kind of most interested to see how many times we're going to have 12 pools. Because that's going to be mixed in here.
Yeah, the pool versus hatch opening game is going to be really interesting to see. Our game is ready, guys. Rogue vs. Dark starts now.
GSL Season 3, Code S. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
So, a couple of hatch firsts here.
Yeah.
It's kind of a long map. Makes sense. And of course, I mean, they have so many different styles that they both can play in this matchup, but the defining difference between them, look at that, okay, offline, it's bigly Rogue favored, and then online it's even, so who cares about that? Offline is what we're looking at here. So definitely Rogue 3 times as many victories.
But I think the results of the present are also extremely important here. I mean, Dark did manage to beat him, and it was a great series.
Yeah, but I think it was an upset, like you said. If you look at the way that they're, how they actually match up against each other, I think that the advantage is Rogue's. Because Rogue is really, really, really good hive tech, right? Like Lurker Viper, he is amazing with. He was the first Korean to really utilize that style ZVZ. And he's always been the best Supreme late game Zerg player, for my money. Whereas Dark, he is a mid-game player. Like, he is a guy that's, like very oftentimes what you're going to see is Dark kill you as you're transitioning into lurkers with like Ravagers, basically Roach Ravager, and that's I think why Rogue does so well against Dark, is because lurker style play shouldn't really lose to Roach Ravager style play. So Dark has to like pull out things that aren't necessarily his strength, like mutabuilds and things like that, or kill him early. And when you know that that is where your opponent's strengths lie, you can kind of prepare for that a bit more.
Yeah, I think the way that you describe that is very accurate. That basically Rogue is better at any more of the standard parts of the game, and Dark knows how to kind of punish you as you're in between tech. In any RTS game, you know, there's always development that happens if the game goes on long enough. If you have two players that actually know what they're doing, right? You start out with some base units and eventually tech into higher, stronger stuff. But in between those areas of where you transition into the next phase of the game, there are weak points. And it does seem like Dark especially is good at basically coming in that moment and doing something very decisive and punishing.
Yeah, that's definitely somewhere he's very strong.
So in this game, everything was mirroring except for the fact that Rogue is getting a Roach Warren here. And unless I'm missing something, Dark never made one.
You're right about that. What does that mean?
Yeah,
like it could be a safety Roach Warren. It could be that he wants to go for like an all-in here.
Yeah, we'll see if he keeps making Roaches what this means, because you know, Roach Ling Bane can be very strong, especially if you just have enough Roaches coming out and then you make Lings behind that.
Yeah, you're so right about that, because if you have Roaches, you can kind of snipe Banelings. Like Roach Baneling back even in Wings of Liberty was a very strong way to play against a Ling Bane player. Yeah. We don't really see it nowadays, I feel like, but there's a lot being made by Rogue. So yeah, he is going for it. He's pulling the trigger. He's sending his Roaches across, and it's going to be their job, basically, to keep the Banelings away from his Lings. And then his Banelings will protect his Roaches. It's a good little combo. Difficult to deal with. Keeps that Baneling alive.
Yeah, he's coming up now. Some more Banes are morphing. Is he going to dive on these ones that are morphing up here right now? He does not commit to them, and here they come.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, these are great snipes here with the Roaches taking out these other Banes. And he hasn't even really used his own Banes here yet.
And look, the Banes are going to have such a hard time getting in here.
I think this might have just succeeded here for Rogue. I think he basically pulled it off.
The micro really, really strong. Gets in there, picks off another Bane. The morphing Baneling will not end up finishing. The Roaches squeezing in through this hole. And Dark, who's up 11 drones, is getting mega punished for that. Look at that, his drones being killed off, and GG. Rogue picks up the first one.
Yeah, Rogue winning in the way that we kind of talked about. That's normally how Dark wins.
yeah, he definitely caught him. Dark was getting a little bit greedy there. Didn't expect a little group of Roaches to come up and ruin his Ling Bane defense.
And also he had Banelings that were morphing in range of the Roaches. And once we saw, I think it was 4 or 5 Banes get killed outside the entrance, that's when you know it's over.
Yeah.
So nicely done. We're already in game number 2. That last game just lasting a few minutes. Romanticide will be our map. Map where you absolutely can turtle. You can have some very defensive games, but you don't have to in ZVZ.
That's very true.
ZVZ doesn't follow a lot of the same rules of the other matchups as far as, you know.
But if you want to turtle and try to get up to like Lurker or something, it's very doable.
All right, guys, our game's loaded up. Rogue vs. Dark. Game 2 starts now.
GSL Season 3, Codex.
That 12 pool, though. All right, Rogue with the first
Let's do it,
first
man.
12 pool of the night.
Well, let's not forget, I mean, Rogue is coming here to win GSL, but also to get revenge on, you know, what Dark pulled off. Dark, you know, kind of stole the spotlight from Rogue. And, you know, Rogue is so disproportionately more successful than other players, and he's kind of into that.
Even than Dark.
Yeah, even than Dark. And, I mean, Dark is one of the all-time greats. But this is 12 pool versus Hatch first.
Yeah, Rogue coming up with a drone right now. And we'll see what degree that this is going to be, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can do a 12 pool. Like you can try to bring it into a more macro esque play. You can try to go all in. We see drones pulled sometimes. Gas before pool. He's also made an additional drone. The drone scouts. Goes down to the third base area. Makes an offensive hatchery.
I almost had to do a double take there.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so he was making it and canceling to try to make a spine to walk up with.
You are right.
Yeah, but Dark was so on top of that.
That was crazy. No, I did the same thing. I thought that was like when people block with an eBay. I'm like, you're gonna block a hatch with your own hatch. I'm like, this can't. The math doesn't seem to be here. You know, this can't be the way it's done. Regardless, though, the Lings are going to come forward here. The drone absolutely can just morph on top of this hatchery. A little bit of the momentum has been taken away here by Dark, but the rush will commence regardless, and this is going to be a tough one to stop.
Yeah, that is very difficult. Now, all the drones coming down. Let's see how much damage he can do to this economy.
Okay, he's going for the spine.
Yeah, and I mean, he can definitely like force a cancel on it, but
this is a lot
how many
of
drones
mining.
is he gonna lose if he does that?
Well, not that many so far.
Yeah, not too bad. He's only lost one. There's a lot of damage on several of them, though.
Oh, and he goes ahead and just engages these Lings up here into the main. You know, the decision-making here is what it's all about here. Micro, of course, matters, but really the way that Rogue is playing this, you know, if things get out of control too quickly, things will spiral out of control for Dark. But so far, Dark seems to have an extremely good handle on how to play this.
Yeah, some very good micro from Dark overall, fighting with those drones, getting the two queens out.
A pretty graceful defense here from Dark, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I think he handled every aspect of that attack before, you know, it even started when he made sure to get on top of that drone that wanted to be a spine.
Yeah, and the one thing that I want to say that I'm also very impressed with is, or I think is funny, I guess is actually a better way to put it, the drone that made the spine, he actually got it home.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah,
he got it out of there, man. That's dedication right there.
Yeah.
He wanted that little drone to help him kill Dark, and it didn't work out, so now he's home mining, and he's going to try to make it up to Rogue by bringing him some extra minerals.
So, where does this game go from here? I mean, the worker count is almost the same. I do believe we have... no, I don't feel like there's anybody who's truly ahead. We've got Ling speed starting here, a lot more drones now coming out for Rogue. Now, obviously, with a build like that, if the rush fails, it's not the end of the world. By the way, a Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber here. This time it could be Dark with some Roach aggression.
Yeah.
But it's always hard to tell. Whenever you see a Roach Warren, it doesn't mean anything in one way. Yeah, you can't get a Roach Warren and just be like, if he attacks me, I'm going to have a couple roaches that I can kind of bend stuff off with.
It can be a fake as well, right?
It can be part of a wall in, you know?
There's another Evo going down now. He does start that +1 range attack, getting layer as well.
We do have two different directions in which this game is going. Dark has walled off, and like you were saying, Artos is getting that +1 range, turtling and powering up. But on the other side of the map, excuse me, Rogue is taking a third base of his own and developing into an economy play with an armor upgrade.
Yeah, that carapace is really interesting as well. So I think we're just going to see from Dark Roach speed research real quick and then try to apply pressure with that. But if you sit back like defensively with the quicker third hatchery, well, the thing is he going to stay defensive? Because if you're making the carapace upgrade and you're getting the Roach Warren, sometimes you use that to just go hit because now you have a big group of roaches that they benefit from the +1 carapace, not as much as from +1 attack, but then your Lings also benefit quite a bit. It comes up and he's going to be able to force a cancel on this third hatchery from Dark. Dark's not going to be like too surprised that he has to cancel that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was like a Christmas wish right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can get away with it, you'll take it, right? But if they do that, it's not the end. But because of the difference in the two build orders, basically Rogue needs to survive this next attack. If he can survive it, he's going to be in great shape. But there's a chance that Dark pummels the third base, maybe even runs Rogue over entirely.
Yeah, it looks a bit scary. I mean, the carapace will help. He has a good amount of Lings. And it's romanticized, so it's hard for him to split up and come from 2 different sides. It's hard for him to switch which side he's attacking.
Yeah, you basically have to do one or the other. So I think especially when the initial engagement comes, that might be the most important point, is Rogue going to be ready to defend from whatever side he gets hit from. Overseer is shot down. Now Rogue is getting quite a bit of roaches behind this. There is going to be an upgrade lead here. At least for now with Dark, but Rogue's getting that armor behind this.
And they're both on the same amount of workers, but look at Dark's army supply. Not really that high right now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start to really explode his roach production. And
I feel like
is
Rogue's
he just like
missing
any timing that he had here?
I feel like Rogue is just in a better spot overall.
Yeah. It didn't have to be this way, though.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit weird, man. Like
the way that Dark played it, it felt like it was one of these builds where you're going to run over with roach speed, but his lair wasn't super fast, so maybe he feels like he missed that. But he like committed so heavily to upgrades and everything before that 3rd hatch. Okay, Spire coming up.
Just saw that Spire. That's going to get canceled.
Good cancel.
Yeah.
But I think Rogue is actually just going to attack and kill him.
I don't know what else to say. I mean, you know, there's so much nuance to, you know, having a perfect build against somebody that's a top player, but it just seems like Rogue had a better economic Sexton that he followed, and you know, now he's just here with a bigger, better army.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a lot of question marks about what Dark thought he was going to get away with.
Let's see. He hits with some vials there, bringing his queens out. We are closer to his rally points, but that's so many roaches for Rogue right now.
Yeah, well, the roach number's beginning to thin out. You can see he's really pushing in here. The drones have now been pulled. He's continuing to corner these Ravagers and eliminate them, and I believe this is going to be now a 2-0 lead for Rogue.
Yeah.
As the Queens disappear, the Roaches, the Ravagers, and the Spines. GG Rogue takes game 2 and is just 1 victory away from being the 2nd player in the top 4 of GSL.
When Rogue is having a good tournament, he looks so different from everyone else. He just looks like he gets the game so much better.
He looks like he's a time traveler that went back in time. Like he's like, oh no, I'm from like 2040, and we know way more about StarCraft 2 there.
Yeah, we're all flies compared to him.
We are all cave people.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is an iPad. And I'm like, fire bad. Fire bad.
I thought you said fire pad.
Fire
I'm like, no, the Amazon tablets are terrible. Don't get one of those. That would be what a caveman would make.
Light shade for game 3. Either Dark starts to turn this around, or Rogue 3-0s and goes on to the final 4. Ended that one a little bit too early. All right, here we go.
GSL Season 3, Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
All right. Cool first here for Dark and for Rogue. That's interesting. Rogue, though, with the gas.
Yeah, we're seeing Rogue come in here extremely prepared. This is actually one of the things that's so haunting about watching Rogue when he's on top of his game is I think it's easy to miss out on just how well planned he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about this with, like, you know, an SOS or Parting or some of these guys where they come in there and I'm like, wow, you really knew how to prep for this. But Rogue's prep seems to be so deep dive that it's almost confusing how he's outplaying them this well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I
sometimes he completely shifts the whole paradigm, like against Maru, and then other times he just like is 3 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does it.
Well, it's almost superhuman when you're watching it. Like in that last game, his rush was thwarted. He stopped. The rush was stopped, and generally that's pretty good for the defender.
Yeah,
but
he had 2 queens before they were even started. He had his hatchery up quicker, and he was up drones.
yeah,
And
then,
he, like, Rogue smashed him from
and
there.
you know, basically from there, that game was one that, and this can go unappreciated if you're not really familiar with StarCraft. There's like a build order war going on either side of the map. They're both like trying to get ahead in their own way. And Rogue ran circles around Dark in that last game. Like, it looked kind of weird to us, where it's like, well, isn't he just like setting up for a 2-base Roach timing? And then Dark expands later. Dark looked at it and is like, oh man, he's actually ready for it. Okay, I gotta try to do this now. And by then, Rogue's too late. He's already got the benefits of that 3rd base, and it's why when Rogue is really well prepared, he just looks unstoppable.
Yeah. And look at the weirdness of what we're seeing here. Like, he has a slightly slower hatchery, but he's going to have ling speed a little bit quicker, and he already has a baneling nest on the way. I think he's going to run across the map and kill Dark. Dark, though, dude, he's up 6 workers.
Yeah.
But, okay, he starts a spine. That's important.
Yeah, I like where the spine's put there, too.
I didn't see. Where was it?
It's like below the hatchery next to the geyser.
Oh,
it's like in
okay.
a really safe spot. A lot of people would put it up in the front, and then
it helps on
becomes,
the ramp, too. That's
Yeah.
really good. I like that.
Yeah. Especially having it on the ramp where you can basically have your army kind of attack out. So the position's pretty good for Dark, but let's see how Rogue decides to handle this.
Well, he's going
here we go.
pretty heavily all in here. The Queen's going to help trying to target down this spine. Okay.
Okay.
He gets a cancel on it. Oh, kills off so many lings
Well,
there.
he basically knows he can hit the hatchery, and the Queens can't really retaliate. So the hatchery's going to go down. I think this game's actually over.
Okay, let's see.
Wow.
Pulls away. Those broodlings. Dark. I love this from Dark, right? He ran 2 lings through the center of the map, and during the chaos, he is now making them into Bane. So there's a possibility that he actually just blows up a huge amount of drones here, like 6-7 drones.
Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like Rogue was aware. You know, StarCraft 2 moves so fast. Even players like Rogue can miss something on the minimap. And he's basically trying to draw attention here, but really, it's going to be about this attack over here in the main. 9!
Oh my god, even more than I thought it would be. Look at that, 12 workers against 21. And Rogue has started drone, okay. Dark's got fighting spirit, Tasteless.
Yeah, that was like...
He's not breaking Dark.
Literally the only way that Dark could pull his way back into this game.
Awesomely done.
And what looked like, you know, Rogue's final moments before he has cemented the win and would be going to the interview, Dark, with the ace up his sleeve, detonated those lings here and has now dropped the worker count behind. Now, that being said, 2 hatches is a lot better than 1 the longer the game goes on. I mean, you just get to make more stuff from it. So,
that's true.
Although those were killed off, the math is a little bit fuzzy for me on this one. I think Rogue can still outproduce drones.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just ahead in drones by the time this finishes. He has a Roach Horn coming up. The lair is pretty fast here from Dark. I think Dark might go into Mutalisk from here. I mean, he already has a Spine. He's already sitting back defensively with the Ling Bane. I could see that being the case. You don't have a lot of larvae to work with? Like, doesn't seem like a bad choice.
I think it makes sense. I think this is a pretty natural transition to take. Now, there's some more roaches coming here. Is there going to be a second attack? I feel like there is here from Rogue.
Oh, yes. Rogue is making roaches right now.
Yeah, and 8 of them at that. Now, the Spire's coming, but the Spire doesn't build that fast. So there's going to be a period where Rogue is going to have a second attack in here, and Dark is going to be extremely vulnerable. But if he holds it and the mutas come out, he's going to have the opportunity to try to do damage and kill workers on the other side of the map. And he'll be able to take a third while keeping Rogue on 2 bases.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to hold unless he makes a few more spines. Okay, he's making a second spine. That's important. But 2 spines, I don't know if that will quite be enough, even with 3 queens.
Here we go.
Okay, he sees it now. He should throw down a ton of spines.
And they're coming, but, you know, are they going to be ready in time?
He's just throwing down as many as he can, making extra banelings here as well. He might just try to blow up the group of roaches.
Yeah.
This is tough. He has a lot of transfusions, though.
That is true. That's very handy for those spines. I think he may have enough spines to actually deal with this, especially with the way
they take so long to make, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, here come those banelings. He is trying to blow up the roaches. Oh, the good spread, though, from Rogue.
The first transfuse comes down on the queen, a second on another queen here. And it's just spines and queens now. There's 14 more links being made. One Muta has started.
Wow, what a hold.
That was wild.
What a hold. Well, I guess it's not completely over yet. Making a Ravager, continuing to rally in. Dark, I mean, Rogue is very, very all in here.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the game is still going to go on for now. I mean, this rush is still happening. Another spine goes down. There's basically two in the back here. Now, some mutas are going to hatch. And, you know, that, although there's nothing that can really hit the Mutalisks here unless you got really lucky with a Corrosive Vial, I don't know that the mutas are going to kill this off in time. It seems like this is beginning to snowball.
Yeah.
Things are spiraling out of control here for Dark. Another queen falls, the last queen. That's it, GG. Dark is victorious. Barely hanging on there.
Yeah, those two Banelings making all the difference. Rogue
What a
was
story.
so far ahead before those two Banes came in. But that was a great move from Dark to utilize his two links like that. He knew that this was going to be a very hard thing to hold. He ran those up, he hid them. There was a lot of micro, a lot of chaos. Rogue lost track of the fact that there were two links in his base.
But, you know, that was like
got punished.
a 1 in 100 game moment. But honestly, when you look at Dark and Rogue so far here, I mean, Rogue has just come in here with better planning. Dark can't just recreate that situation in a game 4, game 5. It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah, that's the important
issue.
thing. It's not something you can just recreate, whereas what Rogue has done, you can't.
Quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
Here's what I like. Jumping from a roof that is almost too high. Laying on the grass, I close my eyes. Playing my guitar till my fingers are numb. I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high, high, always. If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, I am the needle who will push your bubble. Yeah. 힘들어도.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 보여.
새로운 나를 만든다.
나의 레벨은 다르다. 어너더 레벨 핫6.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함.
완벽하네.
칠성사이다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
Round 8. Zest. Dream. Road. Dark. 2021 GSL Season 3 Codex. Africa TV Freak Up Studio Live 2021 GSL Season 3.
Welcome back. This has been a pretty dramatic series so far. Dark has been holding his own, but honestly, Rogue looks absolutely terrifying in this matchup. Had Dark not made those two Banes in the surprise attack, killing 9 drones in the blink of an eye, and then barely holding off the all-in from Rogue, we would already have Rogue moving on to the round of 4. Now, Rogue, I would say for about 90% of the series, has basically looked bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah. Those two Banelings were those bested him, but
other than that, yeah, Rogue was.
I would be
really
very surprised if Dark can swing this back.
Yeah, well, wish him luck, man. He needs to win 2 more in a row. Otherwise, Rogue is moving on to the round of 4.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming Rogue. Dragon Phoenix Gaming Dark.
Another cheese coming out of Rogue. Gas pool. For that Overlord.
And this is Hatch first.
Yep.
Wow, okay. Now it doesn't look like we're gonna have anything.
Oh, it's this build. Yes. Okay, so notice how the hatcheries are basically timed the same. He is going to pool a bunch of speedlings in his main base, then just run out.
Oh, yep, makes sense.
Crazy.
You're very low on workers, but what happens is, and this is all, when you spot something, especially if it's the first building that you see and it's at the same, timed out the same time as yours, it's very easy to look at that and just assume, okay, we both win hatch first. And so then you go, well, let's get a couple more drones here because he can't attack me. And it's actually the opposite. It's a perfect setup. And this is basically designed to punish a player who's really smart.
Yeah. I mean, the hatchery's a couple seconds later, like 5 seconds later, so...
that can be very easy to miss.
Yeah.
And so basically this will be triggered the moment the first set of lings hatch at the natural. Everything will spill out. And this is
I think
intended.
he has to basically wait, like, as speed is finishing, you go.
Yeah.
Right? And you've cut so much in this build. Look, he's down 10 workers right now.
He's economically barely in this.
Yeah, he's getting a drone down there.
So look, it looks like an expand, but he's even sending a drone over there.
And look, he even makes a couple lings at the natural
like
here.
Here are my 2 lings. All right, I'm going to try to get in your base now because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he runs past the Overlord, so you can't see that speed finishes. Oh, God, he's going for a third. Okay, so Rogue goes on the round of 4.
Yeah, Rogue really, every little detail of the way he behaved, it looked like a macro build.
Yeah.
And then
now Dark's going to shake his head. He needs to make a bunch of spines, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, these lings are going to get there too quickly.
It's like, I'll just make 2 banelings in the main. Oh, sorry, that's not going to work this time.
All right, here he comes.
Oh, man. It's just, there's so many speedlings here.
And he has chewed his way through this. The Queen's the last line of defense. More drones come down. And Rogue is happy to try to fight that off as well. 1 Queen goes down. The lings continuing to deal damage. The worker count almost even here as more and more lings come in. And there's just nothing left. A couple slow lings are hatching. Ling speed not quite done yet here for Dark.
I gotta say, like, he actually did a pretty decent job holding that. The drone count is the same, and now suddenly Dark has a lot of lings, and there's... Huh.
Yeah, I guess he knew that.
I thought he was going to be able to break through a little bit quicker there and get that critical damage, but they're actually, like, basically even here.
Well, how many Queens are in the game right now for
One for
Dark?
both.
Oh, I guess that's right. Yeah, he only made 1. Rogue only made 1 Queen this game.
Yeah, Rogue is still making lings. Baneling Nest on the way here for Dark.
And if he can get a couple Banelings out, basically this ling attack ends. 3rd hatchery was canceled. I think we're back to square 1.
It seems like Rogue is just going to keep going. He's just going to keep pulling that trigger. Like you said, a couple Banelings are going to really screw this up for him.
Yeah, well, the Baneling's Nest should be done now. So, I mean, I think there's a window of another minute here before this is just not going to work. Now, he comes in here really
Dark's
good.
Actually going to take it. I could have sworn he was going to break him, Tease.
No, I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit this as well as he could have. It's funny because you were talking about how Dark would shake his head. I guess he looked at this and said, no, I know this exactly.
Fight with every drone and the 2 Queens on the ramp. That was, I mean, it was beautifully done. Beautiful hold.
Now, right now, map control still goes to Rogue. But I don't know, man. 12 workers to 14.
Huge difference.
When you're that low, it is a pretty big difference. You know, if it's something like 45 to 47, it doesn't mean as much. But when it's 12 to 10, it's like, well, no, that's a
it's a
much,
a big
yeah,
totally. And like, look, he's got Banelings too, so it's not just that. Yeah, he has less army supply. There's a lot of lings out, but Rogue is trying to drone here. I like this push from Dark.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
So Rogue is actually up in drones now, but just now started his Baneling Nest. So this is very problematic what's coming for him.
Yeah, I don't know that Rogue's going to have a real answer here.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. With the Queen surround here. Okay, this should be over.
Like, what do you even do against these Banelings walking up?
You have no real way to retaliate against the Banes. And he killed off 9 drones so far.
Oh my God.
Another Bane detonates. Banes are continuing to come across the map, but Rogue's Baneling Nest is just now finishing.
He's got 10 workers to 21. Seems pretty difficult for him to do anything here.
Okay, another big detonation on these drones. I feel like we're very close to the end of this. Oh, man. Ooh.
Yeah, we're down to 8 workers now. So
yeah.
far
Oh
less
my
than you
God.
start with. Oh, man.
GG.
Okay, so now suddenly it's 2-2.
All right, this is quite the series. I got to say, man, Dark is barely hanging on against all this insanity. But
well,
look, he did it. He only needs to do it one more time. Now I have no idea where this is going to go.
Well,
the disrespect from Rogue, too. Try to just insta-win that. And
maybe that is respect, though.
And then Dark just like, oh, okay, well, I'll just only lose exactly enough drones so that we're even, and then I'll have a tech advantage and win with a push. Easy peasy. You think that's the first time I've seen that? I stop that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a build that we've seen a couple times in GSL. It's not that popular, but it's so tricky. I thought for sure he was just going to break him. Great hold. And Dark going to go to the washroom, going to reset his brain a little bit here. It's been a tough series. What do you think? Do you think maybe he busts out a cheese here to try to advance?
I don't know, man.
Rogue's been so aggressive. Isn't it time for Hatch first?
I feel like Rogue has... I thought it was going to be Dark doing a lot more rushes and crazy builds, and Rogue kind of like deflecting everywhere, and then eventually having more and winning. And it's been a much more action-packed series than I thought. We've had very short games for CVZ.
Yeah, yeah. CVZ,
really,
I mean, it can be very fast.
Sure.
Definitely can go long as well.
I mean, let's see. Let's see what he wants to do. There's so many different ways to play this. Again, these guys, they know each other and each other's play styles so well. A lot of what Rogue's done is to basically set up and kind of play around what he thinks Dark's going to do. But even when Rogue is basically getting to do what he wants, like in that last game, if it's too aggressive, it seems like Dark is just good enough to stop it perfectly, and then with that like 10% lead, close it out.
Yeah.
So I think, and you know, it's hard to get into like the mind of someone like Rogue, because I really think what he does is almost always so advanced, few people can understand it. But I don't think he needs to actually do a build that is going to be too all in. I think he needs to open up with some kind of strategy, but not one that is so hinged on the element of surprise.
Yeah. Well,
I think a good timing, hiding information. I do think Rogue is a better player in a long game.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing I was thinking about, where if Rogue just gets into a longer game, he's better with Lurker Viper.
Yeah.
That's not in question. It's not that Dark is bad with that, but it's not really his style. And that's like where Rogue really has his strength. So let's get into Oxide, our final map. The winner of this might be the favorite of GSL.
This is so exciting. What a great ZVZ so far. Now we settle it. Rogue versus Dark tied up. The winner of this final game goes to the second spot in the round of 4 of the GSL Codex.
GSL Season 3 Codex. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
You know, the way that Rogue has played this, the one thing you know Dark's not going to do this game is overdrone. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's like where he's getting him.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Dark.
On the wins and even these closer games, right? Both, it looked like Rogue was ahead in both the games he lost. I guess that last one, technically, he was not, because he never actually got the damage done. But if you look at them, right, like Dark will go up like 6, 8, 10 drones, and suddenly those are all units for Rogue, and he hits.
Yeah.
So that's something that Dark has to be really cognitive of. He has to really be careful not to do that. So I think it's almost like Rogue has, like, you know, he kind of set up for a game that would actually be a good macro game for him.
Sure.
Because Dark should be like, oh my god, he's just cheesing me every time. Okay, I got to be careful. I got to not overmake drones. Maybe make sure I have, you know, a couple extra units.
Well, for now, we can't really, tell what kind of game this is going to be. Things are basically mirrored for the time being. But I will say I'll be happy no matter who moves on here. And Dark, again, is really able to match Rogue here. If Dark can win again, we might have to start to rethink who's the best ZVZer in the country.
Huh.
It's because Rogue wins so consistently, but this is the second time they're facing off. And, Rogue got that 2-0 lead, and I thought it was going to be a quick 3-0 after that.
Yeah.
But Dark's fought back well, but I do worry that Rogue is a little bit more well-rounded if we can get past, the two-base mind games. But I would love to be proven wrong by that as well.
Yeah, for me personally, I just want to see Rogue set like every record,
Yeah.
Let's get another player with 4 GSL wins.
Well, he'll be the one to do it if anybody can.
Absolutely.
But honestly, if Dark wins here and then wins the tournament, that's an insane way.
Oh, yeah.
To end Season 3. Yeah. That's like, oh, wow, okay.
2 in a row is pretty wild.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa, Zerg Mario. He's like, you can just call me Dark. I'm Dark. I'm one of the best Zergs.
I have value as well.
You don't have to compare me to Mario. That's actually insulting to me. Like,
you're like, yeah, you're right. You're half Mario right now.
So 10lings are being made here for Rogue. He will once again be leaning into aggression.
Is he going to make more? Okay,
yeah,
there it is. Because 10, I'm like, okay.
No, you could have 6 drones come out right after that, but there's just more and more lings coming here. This is...
Yeah, he's going to try to force a cancel.
Yeah, this is a similar idea to what we had in the last game, although the play is not as dramatic.
Yeah.
But this is like a straightforward way to go where you can just flood the third and maybe force a cancel and then just play a conservative game from there on out where you're ahead.
And he's going drones from there, by the way. So, just something to mention. Okay, going after it. The Baneling Nest is about to finish for Dark, but he's not going to get Banelings in time to save this third.
No, there's nothing he can do to stop this from being canceled. So it gets canceled, the drone is killed, mission success, and immediately after this, he escapes. He'll have Banelings back at home. And like I said before, you basically want to play a conservative game. You say, all right, I have more bases, let's get a few more drones, and then let's get ready for one of 2 things that can come. Either A, a timing attack, or B, he tries to take a later third and defend, both of which Rogue is basically, at least on paper, at an advantage.
Yeah. I think Dark is just going to attack. Yeah, he just added 2 gases. He has +1 range on the way. Yeah, I mean, that has to be what it is he's just going to go for an attack here. But like you said, like Rogue is going to be pretty much on top of this, know what's happening. Lots of Lings and Banes on the way. Rogue is up 5 drones. It's not that many. Look, he sends a drone over here. We'll get picked off by the Ling. But just seeing that drone makes you think, oh, okay, well, he wants to take a third.
Yeah.
Does he, though?
Now, Dark needs this attack to succeed. If you fail and the attack burns out and Rogue is sitting on 3 bases while you're still only on 2, or at least a late third for that matter, you're fine. Now, seeing this hatchery may make him think he's actually going to be okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, it might be that second option that you were talking about as well. The powering up and just kind of
I kind of decided it was going to be a timing attack, but you're right. It looks like it's actually...
I thought it would be the way he was kind of taking his gases and...
Well, this is a
he
tougher...
He didn't take the third that quickly.
This is a tougher path to take, for sure.
It is.
You're basically trying to play from behind. And you really, if you're going to win like this as Dark, you have to play perfectly.
It's a tough situation. Trying to come up and mix it up a little bit here with the Ling Bane, but of course with Roaches out, it's not going to be much of a problem for Rogue. Rogue up 13 workers and same army supply. Yeah, I guess he even has quicker Roach speed. Oh, I just don't like it for Dark. Not that an all-in would have worked. Like maybe he feels like even though they're both losing prospects, he has a little bit more play with this. You know, as a game stretches out, you have more opportunities to make something happen.
Okay, that's a surprise.
The please pause from Rogue. Wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It didn't seem like anything occurred that all right, something's going on with his PC. I don't know. Maybe monitor.
Oh, I think something might have been falling on his booth or something.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that could be as well.
Doesn't want to get Gumiho'd.
Oh, poor Gumiho, man.
Such an iconic moment.
Yeah.
The only time a booth has collapsed on a pro
people
gamer.
say being a pro gamer isn't dangerous. I just show them that gif. I think they're just going to duct tape something.
Is that what's happening, really?
I believe that's duct tape they have there.
You're right. Yeah, something was falling down. Is that like... I actually never really go up on stage. It's been a long time since I've been up there. Is that just like black cardboard on plexiglass?
Some of the booths they use in esports are pretty flimsy. I don't actually know. I do come in here in the middle of the night when everything's closed and, sit in the chair and go like, tasteless.
Yeah.
You're the champion. But I've never noticed how the booths are. I come down here in the middle of the night, I put on all the pro gamer outfits, and it's like way too small on me and stuff. I'm sweating into it.
I thought Dark smelled like you today.
That's right. And then I go, yeah, I have myself casting me winning the tournament in my head. Oh, Dazzle's beating Dark. He's too good. And then I walk up and I kiss the trophy.
Yeah.
I put my mouth all over the trophy,
Yeah.
and then I put it back down. And
well, I'm glad you get to live out your fantasies somehow.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to go back into it.
You know what I do, Taste, is
What?
when I sneak in at night, is I go up to Kevin's office and I sit in his chair, and then I just stamp papers. I go, there will be GSL next year. And that's how I live out my fantasy.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, meanwhile, there's some roaches attacking.
Yeah, he's up 20 army supply right now.
Yeah, this is a lot. We got to watch how the Banes connect, but the math is not looking good here for Dark. The Lynx coming in from behind, allowing for a healthy concave against Dark here. I do not know
Dark
that he can hang on.
He doesn't have enough.
No,
His
the
drone's
are
coming
full.
down to fight, but the roach count is so strong here. More roaches are coming out. Don't forget, we are over on Dark's side of the map, but he loses 12 workers.
It just seems like there's a little bit too much. More roaches now coming here from the bottom right and the bottom left. I think it actually is possible Dark survives this narrowly, but again, those worker kills were huge. 12 workers die off, putting now Dark behind, and there's a couple different ways I think Ro can play this from here. He can try to power up and hit in again, or he can try to expand it to a 4th base and play a macro game. He does continue to take the lead.
Yeah, he's definitely way up in workers, but I think he should actually sit home and just macro for a minute. Right? When you kill a bunch of workers, but you lose some of your army due to that, a lot of people make the mistake of attacking again instantly. What you should really do is let that deficit kick in a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So he comes up, and actually the roach count right now is higher for Dark. So, see, it just hasn't really caught up to him, that that time in between when you lose the workers and when it actually hurts. So Rogue runs back to his own creep.
He's got
Should have enough here now.
Yeah, very healthy position here. That I think you're totally right, though. You need to let that deficit actually kind of pan out. Because for the time being, they did make enough roaches in that fight that they are still even with you, or maybe even ahead.
Okay, Dark gets back onto his own creep. 2-1 is on the way here. We already have +2 for Dark. So they're very similar as far as upgrades go. Ravagers starting on both sides. And the more that this looks, even if it looks even, I feel like that is slight advantage Rogue. And he does have just like a slight advantage anyway, so that makes it easier to say that. But, if Dark can't really get anything done, then that's where Rogue might be able to get into that end game.
Yeah.
That he is just so strong at.
Well, it's a very straightforward game from here. It's kind of like textbook StarCraft. If you can get some kind of edge here early on, and then just stay ahead the whole game, look for a really safe opportunity to attack and to win, you've got it. There's a lot more pressure here and a lot more complexity from Dark's position if he's going to succeed.
An Overseer coming in, and it's going to be able to scout the Spire that got started here by Rogue.
There's a couple different decisions.
I think, right? Was the Spire at the main?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
okay,
right
so
down
you
there
saw
below
it.
the extractor.
And, I mean, what is the choice here as Dark? Do you max out on Roach Ravager and try to attack as he's making mutas? Because that's always a very strong move. We have Burrow and Burrow movement on the way here for Rogue. His Spire is almost done. He's maxed out.
Okay, now that's a pretty big deny. Is he going to try to, I was going to say, might not be a good idea to attack into that area over there. And the idea is basically, you know, if Dark doesn't get a 4th base, he just dies. And so what Rogue's doing now is taking his lead in Roaches and Ravagers and basically controlling the map. And, you know, there's only 2 places Zerg can expand to, or I should say Dark can expand to here. And again, 4 bases versus 3 in a mirror matchup, I think it speaks for itself. Obviously, you have a huge lead, and you'll continue to maintain that lead as long as you have more bases.
But Dark, they're actually playing each other's positions, kind of, right? Like, the guy with Roach Ravager map control is Rogue instead of Dark, and the guy going Lurker is Dark instead of Rogue.
Right.
So now they kind of are playing in the position the other player is maybe a little bit more used to. And we'll see how they can do with that. Honestly, when I look at these positions, I do like where Dark is going as far as Lurker tech. We haven't seen that yet for Rogue.
So he burrows the Roaches there to heal up. And he's going to try to push up here into this 3rd.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to split his units wrong.
Yeah, this is a pretty good angle right now for Rogue if he can get it set up correctly. And he just dives in.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, he's going to be emptying supply here to make something else behind this.
Yeah, I think he might be okay, he's actually massing Roaches.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that was weird, because the dive-in made me feel like he was going to go Muta, but instead he's just making Roach.
Yeah, I thought literally that's what he's going to do. Now, there's a big counterattack here, but I guess if he's just going Roach, he can just match this and probably win this fight here as well.
Yeah, his harassment Roaches, we'll see if they really get anything done. It doesn't seem like they're going to. Maybe if you use the Burrow movement, it'd be a bit more helpful, but Lurkers are being made. Dark is up here in Rogue's base.
Oh
it
my
comes
God.
around, stops that. Ooh, the flank is real.
The round is insane.
But the Lurker flank comes up, and he doesn't have detection here. So his army in the back is starting to get shredded by these 2 Lurkers.
Yeah, he kind of carves a hole in there. The 4th base for Dark is going to finish. It's just going to be enough to Dark push through here.
Yeah, this base is gone, but that means it's 3 base versus 3 base again.
Well, no, it's going to be 3 base versus 4. That 4th hatchery is finishing up.
And now we are in like complete opposite positions here. Look at this. It's Ravagers against Lurkers, but
he's got detection. There's still 1 Lurker here, though.
Yeah, he's hitting some of these bios. It looks like he'll clear this army.
Yeah, and taking that fight, I think the action's going to seesaw back up to the north. This time, Rogue with the ability to probably stamp out the 4th base of Dark.
Yeah, Dark does not have that much. He does have some Lurkers being made, but I don't think they're going to be here in time to save this hatch.
Yeah, this is the safer play. I was going to say, I wonder if there's merit in just trying to attack into the natural or the 3rd and trying to end it, but it seems like the conservative choice is going to be the one that Rogue's going to take here, just killing that base off, reclaiming his own 4th.
Well, I think if you try to attack there and he happens to have his Lurkers ready, you're in terrible shape.
Sure.
Because then maybe he's able to actually keep his 4th alive, and then you're definitely behind. As is, I would say, still, this is not the end of the game at all for Dark, right?
He's
got those
Overlords
Lurkers.
are getting hit here with these biles.
Yeah, he does have a lot of Overlords out.
And we're not seeing him tech out. It seems like Dark wants to advance and tech, and really Rogue is locked into Roach Ravager here.
This
it's pretty sick.
He's killing like every Overlord.
Well, if you have enough Ravagers, you can basically hit every area where the Overlord could go.
Yeah, and it's quick enough too against these slow ones. If you don't immediately course correct, you're going to hit them.
And now you can start to try to hit these Lurkers. It's kind of like siege tanks. Of course, these can unsiege a little bit more quickly. Did Rogue just do it? Now the Lurkers are, doing a decent job of defending here, but over time, you can start to see that Rogue is going to chisel away at the position.
And there's a lot of Lurkers here. Oh, and look, he's juggling them so quickly as well. Very well done. Coming up, trying to actually get the kill. The Lurker's coming down from the natural ramp, but it seems like Rogue might have done it here. He is starting to really break through at this point. The Biles just punishing everything. I mean, it's burrow and unburrow instantly here to even stay alive. A lot more drones have been killed. Very little army supply remains here for Dark.
If he can get into this position here, I think it's going to be over. And I just don't see enough roaches over here for Dark to be able to hang on. This should be the end of this match with Rogue defeating Dark 3-2.
Yeah, what a crazy match this turned out to be. It seemed like Rogue was dominating, but we've definitely had some back and forth games at this point. Killing off the rest of what Dark has. He takes his hands off the keyboard and mouse, and that is GG Rogue to the top 4.
What a great ZVZ series that was. Rogue moves on, and now I don't know that there's anybody left in this tournament who can stop him.
Has he ever lost a best of 7?
No.
There you go. There you have it. Rogue is our champion. That was the finals.
That's it. We're going to call off the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. Maybe, I'll come in and cast it for you guys anyways. But
yeah, he lost.
Yeah.
No, we didn't play any games, but tough break for Dark. You know, it could have gone either way. Again, these guys are so evenly matched. I love the deep dive of the ZVZ. You know, with 2 of the greatest Zerg players of all time battling it out. It was a back and forth final game, but ultimately Rogue locking into Roach Ravager, overcoming and punishing Lurker Tech. That was the way to do it. We're going to go to an interview now with Rogue and see how he's feeling. He is the second player to get into the Final Four of GSL Code S Season 3.
Yeah, fantastically done. Clutch victory there at the end. Here we go.
Wow, what a neck-and-neck match that was. But in the end, it is Dragon Phoenix gaming Rogue defeating Dark. Congratulations. Thank you. Now you successfully take your revenge against Dark, who you lost to last season. How do you feel? In the last game, I thought I lost the game at start. So I made a big mistake. And I said this will be a reverse sweep by Dark. I really wanted to win in the last game. You know, I'm really happy because I thought I lost the game, but I won. Yes, you probably thought this might be a reverse sweep match, right? So there definitely has been a lot of worries for you during the game. I had plenty of resources in the last game, so I tried to go for the consumption battle. But then Dark probably thought he lost the game as well. But he probably spotted some timings that he could have opted for. But I think he was nervous. I think he was nervous too. And then, you know, luckily I was able to get the win in the end. So Rogue, you focused on the early game the most today. So is there a special reason for that? I mean, Dark is spectacular at late games, so I thought I shouldn't go for the late game against him. And I do not go for the all-in rushes in the ZVT and the ZVP. I only use these all-in rushes in ZVZ. So I did prepare a lot of all-in strategies. I mean, the head-to-head record is pretty favored against Dark. It feels like you're admitting Dark as your nemesis. I mean, if you have a look at the head-to-head record between me and Dark, the wins that I have are pretty much all the all-in games. So you successfully take your revenge against Dark, and now you have your big chance at lifting the trophy this year, this GSL. So you do want to gain your 4th GSL victory and add one more badge to your t-shirt. So now your round of 4 opponent will be Zest. I mean, he's one of the best Protoss players out there for sure. He's almost as good as Trap, definitely. He's a very solid player. But I do feel like he lacks in the late games, so I'm gonna have to beat him in the late game. So you're saying he's a top tier Protoss, but he lacks the late game, okay. All right, we look forward to your round 4 performance, Rogue. So anything you want to say?
솔직히 준비 시간이 많지 않아가지고
I didn't have that long of a preparation time,
뭔가 어설펐던 것 같은데.
so I thought I played a little bit awkwardly today.
전이기도 하고 준비 시간도 길고
But since this is a ZVP and I have a long preparation time, I'm gonna try to prepare for an exciting and an entertaining match in round 4. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
Rogue moves on. Can anybody stop him? That's the question.
Well, as much as I love Zest, I'm not sure if he's going to be up to that task. No one has been able to take Rogue down at this stage of the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for day 1 of the round of 8. We are going to be closing day 2 out on Thursday, as we are always on now, Mondays and Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. KST. It's going to be Trap versus Morrow and Cure versus Party. 2 PDTs that should be pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's so much fun, actually. The Party and Cure one is surprisingly interesting.
Yeah, well, Cure looked really, really good.
Yeah, he did.
Partying is very hungry to win a GSL, and Partying, besides Rogue, might be the guy who could just take the tournament. Morrow, you don't want to count out, though. Trap is really amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, after this entire week, we have a week off. It is Korean Thanksgiving out here. So you won't see us for a little bit. GSL will resume the week after that.
That's right. And of course, Trap vs. Mario, I mean, we're not really talking about it as much, but it really is, this is a finals level match. The best Protoss versus the best Terran.
Yeah, and there's a lot of very interesting matches that we could end up depending on who moves on, and I think all of them are really interesting. Whether it's a PVT or if you're
any finals at this point will be very good.
Yeah.
I can't come up with actually a bad finals. And oftentimes you can look at a bracket and be like, yeah, no, I see 1 or 2 that don't look very good.
Or not likely to move on.
Like
they are good, but it's like, well, you're probably not going to be.
Like, let's say if Dream was still in Dream versus Trap, I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I think that's a 4-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're in for a good season. Hopefully, unless Rogue just Hulk smashes everyone, which he does from time to time.
Yeah, if there's always a possibility that Rogue just one-sidedly dominates and that's it. But yeah, it's been a great season so far.
Indeed, it has. Guys, we'd like to remind you that the ASL casts are up on the Africa TV YouTube. Definitely do check those out. The newest episode should be up like today.
I believe that's correct.
I think it's being uploaded right now, but it might even be up there already.
It might be up there. If not now, then probably tomorrow. But we're getting them uploaded as quickly as possible. All spoiler-free. And you don't want to miss that. That's your homework. So you come join us again
Watch
live.
ASL until you have GSL. Yes. Okay. It's been a lot of fun here today, Tasteless. I don't know. With Rogue in the best of 7 area now that he never loses in, his prep being so strong, I think he's right. He's already analyzed Zest very clearly that he's going to have a hard time in the late game. How does Zest overcome that? I'm like, oh, God.
I mean, I think it's the same kind of analysis we would have said, even if he hadn't said that. It does seem to be kind of apparent. There's going to be some issues here for Zest. I think Zest, as a player and his style overall, doesn't seem to really match up against the other styles and the other players that we have here. He's very good at what he does, but does seem like there's other players that have found a more efficient, effective way to win.
Yeah, well, when they get to late game, that is where he's a little bit weaker. We talk about it a lot, how he's very much a mid-game player.
When you hear someone like Rogue say that, like, oh, yeah, you're just not good at this part of the game, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Zest better bring some new, fresh stuff. He says he's really passionate right now, and he's playing well, so... I mean, Prime Zest can beat anyone, including Rogue.
Sure.
Like, Zest's best play can win that.
We'll just have to see. Is that it? Can we close the show out?
No, Tasteless.
No, we must keep talking. There's more to say. All right, now we can close it out. Guys, we'll see you Thursday. We love you. Check out the ASL. Bye-bye.